All right, guys, so here is the Form W-4. This is the Employee Withholding Certificate. This is what you fill out when you get a new job. You go through payroll and you fill out this info. You can fill it out anytime. You can contact payroll and fill out a new one if your situation changes. But this is what it looks like. You may go through like an online onboarding, and so you don't see the form itself. It just asks you the right questions. But this is really basic. There's instructions below this form. So it has all the instructions. There's also a multiple job worksheet that you can go in and fill out. But really basically, right, you have all of your personal information up here. You have your filing status. So single, married filing separately, married filing jointly, or qualifying widower, head of household, okay? Then you move on to step 2. And again, this is different if you have one income versus two incomes. They give you different instructions. So it says, complete this step if you, 1, hold more than one job at a time. So if you have multiple jobs, or 2, are married filing jointly and your spouse also works, because then they're going to withhold based on the cumulative amount. You don't want them withholding a high rate for you and a high rate for the other job. So you're trying to base it off of so that they withhold the appropriate amount based on all of the income. So you do only one of the following. Number 1, use the estimator, which I'll show you in a minute. Or you can use the multiple jobs worksheet, which is down here at the bottom, page 3. And then you do the calculations and then you enter in the answer you get there. Or if there's only 2 jobs total, you do the same Form W-4 for the other job if they're comparable in income. If they're comparable in income, you're withholding like a nominal amount here and a nominal amount here that's about equal to the income. So overall, it's good. But if you have one income that is substantially high and another one that is very like lower, like let's say somebody's earning 200,000, the other person's earning like 80,000. That's a significant difference. And that's where you want to make the adjustment. So down here, it says you complete these steps. So step 3 and 4 for only one job. So essentially with one income, you're withholding the bulk of what you need to withhold based on your deductions and filing status and all that stuff. On the other ones, you kind of withhold a default rate. So you leave those steps blank for another job. So your withholding is most accurate if you complete these steps for the highest paying job. So in the one case where somebody's earning 200,000, another person's earning 80, you would complete steps 3 and 4 on the $200,000 job and leave it blank on the $80,000 job. It's kind of confusing, but ultimately it ends up working out best that way. Okay. So the way that these steps work here, step 3, you take your total income and you multiply the number of qualifying children under age 17 by 2,000, right? There's a child tax credit. So if you have dependents under the age of 17, you get a child tax credit of $2,000 per child. So you add that in, and then other dependents, if you have other dependents that don't qualify as qualifying children under age 17, you add that there, and then you add those amounts right here. Then you add in other income where you don't expect there to be withholding. So this could be like self-employment income. It could be like investment income. But if somebody else has a job and a W-2 and they are withholding, then you don't add it here. Here for deductions, you leave it blank if you're claiming the standard deduction. But if you are claiming itemized, as we've talked about before, you can enter in the total amount of projected itemized deductions right here. So only fill this out if you expect to itemize versus the standard. If you're just taking standard deduction, leave it blank. And then you can allow extra withholding for the pay period. So that could be convenient if you're halfway through the year already, you need to withhold a little bit extra or whatever the case may be. Okay. And then you sign it and done. So that's the form, pretty straightforward. There's a lot of instructions. You just have to follow them and go through it. Now, the other thing I'll show you really quick is all about the tax withholding calculator. I'm going to go ahead and pause here and do another video on the actual estimator that's on the IRS website and show you how that works. All right. See you soon.
Keep learning, keep growing.